On my agenda today is to get my greenhouse cleaned. Scott still has some tools out here. I think he's still finishing up a few things, so I need to wait for him to come out and tell me which items can get put away and which ones he still needs. I still have a little bit of painting to do up here on the interior top. I did not finish painting that, so I'm gonna finish that up. But otherwise, we're gonna call it good to go and we're gonna get to planting out here. I lost my fence tester. Let me see if I left it in here. Maybe I left it in the open. Found the fence tester. I wanted to take a quick minute and show you how fat these little butterballs are getting. Cannot believe the growth rate on these things. I can't even really get them with one hand very easily now. This is how big they are. Look at that sucker. They're just huge. They have the sharpest little talons. Holy moly. I don't even want to kiss them anymore. I know. I know. What? Your head is still cute, but as for the rest of you, I don't know. Let me show everybody how fat you are. Oh, what? Don't act like that to me. Be nice. All right, let's get you. I want to get you in frame here. And that's going to be hard to do with one hand because I can't really hold you guys anymore. Okay. Focusing on you. Okay. You have got to see. When I say butterball, I mean butterball. Come on, let's show them. Don't do that. What, you're embarrassed? Come on now. I can't tell you how hard they are to hold on to now. I want to show you this big fat belly. But he just does not like that. But, can you see like how gigantic this thing is? That looks like a baby eagle. Are you a baby eagle? You're a fat boy. But you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. His feathers haven't even caught up. Look at that naked belly. You're so ugly. But you're so sweet. Starting to get feathers on this side. Real true feathers, not baby downy feathers. I know. I know. They're pretty happy now. We've given them the whole entire brooder. We've taken the ceramas out. I think that makes them happier to have a little more space. All right, we've located our fence tester so we can test the pig fence and see if we're, by some miracle of God, able to put pigs out in the garden. And we have checked on the butterballs, so it is time now to get back outside. Find out what my boys are doing. They're supposed to be working for me this morning, but they're all on their bikes, so a little harder to catch them when they're biking. I forgot my alligator clips to hook up my Premier One Energizer to my Premier One fence. Have to run back in the oat bin and see if I can rustle up one of those.
Yes. Cool.
All right, I was successful in there. What I was looking for is these alligator connectors. One side pinches onto the Energizer, the other side pinches onto the fence and brings that electric current to the fence. This one happens to have 3 pinchers. I have no idea why, but I'm hopeful it'll still work. Let's go see. We're out here by the pig fence, hopeful that we're going to be able to get them in today. And for anybody that's not familiar with portable net fencing, some of the reasons that farmers or homesteaders like to use it is because it's portable. So you're not pounding in T-posts or permanent wood posts and running barbed wire or electric wire. You're not buying cattle panels or hog panels that cost $16 for 15 feet. you're not doing anything permanent. You can pick this up and move it every single day. So for someone that does pasture rotation like us, we're trying to work really hard on our regenerative farm practices so we don't wear out this land, so that we treat it better than it was treated, so that we heal the land, keep all of our water on the land, essentially become soil farmers and create more soil for our things that are growing and better pastures for our animals that are on pasture and eating pasture. All to say, portable fence is the way to go for us. Couple of interesting pieces working with portable fence. You really need to be organized. Portable fence is lightweight. You can pick up all of these posts, and then you have to deal with all this crazy netting. You saw yesterday, I'm not very organized with it. We are going to get better at that. And it can be a pretty easy process once you get into a routine, especially if you're moving every single day. You get into the routine of walking around, setting your new fence, moving your animals from the old fence to the new fence, picking up your old fence, setting it in place for the next day. It's handy to have some repair kits on hand. I just ordered some more of those from Premier One because things happen. This is super lightweight, and it's sometimes gets snagged on things, especially when I make the pigs run through the garden like this. There's a lot of old stalks and things that can catch these. But it's all repairable. So I think of myself like a fisherman back in the day when they would have to repair their big nets. It's a lot like that. You lay out in the front lawn and you repair fences. Once you get your fence set in place, well, backing up a minute, when you set these in place, you want them fairly tight. Like this is a little bit loose for what I would like. I would prefer to pull it a little bit tighter. And with pigs, before they go under anything, they are going to touch it with their nose. So if they find out that this is electric, they typically won't try to go under it. Once you get your net fence set out, you want to make sure they're connected. So I actually have 2 runs of fence here. These come in different sizes, and they come in, so different lengths, but they also come in different heights and different spacing. So this is one of the Premier One hog nets, but they can come for sheep or for chickens. And depending on what the animal is, they'll have different spacing, different heights. The poultry net has a special wire across the top that is a certain color that kind of confuses them, so they're not sure, oh, can we get over, can't we get over, let's not even try, kind of a thing. But once you get your net in whatever configuration you want, and I like mine to be pretty, but my garden one is not perfectly symmetrical. I tried to jog and go around the areas that needed to be tilled. So it's not a perfect rectangle. And it's nice when you can finally let go of that and say, okay, it doesn't need to look perfect. Let's just get the job done and have them do the work we need them to do. So you're going to connect up your fence. So they have these 2 wire connectors on here. And because I have 2 fences hooked up, I actually have one on the opposite corner that I also need to go connect. And then you need to have an alligator clip coming from your charger going to your fence. I spent all the time going back into the oat bin to get an alligator clip, and there was already one on here. Super typical of the way I roll. So your alligator clip is going to have 1 clip on the Energizer and then 1 clip onto this metal right here. All right. And then on your Energizer, you want to make sure that your solar panel is facing the correct direction. So for us, it happens to be facing the correct direction right now. And then I'm looking at the back of the solar panel here, but on the front side of the solar panel, there is a power button. And when you turn that power button on, you'll typically hear it clicking, click, 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 like that. You'll also see a light. And if it's blinking green, that's an indicator that your charge is good, probably. I always still try to use a fence tester. And if it's blinking red, you've got a problem. And it's kind of cool because even at night, I can be sitting on the porch and I can look out and I can see my green blinking light and know that, okay, all is well with the pigs for the night. So that can be handy if it's facing the correct direction for you at night. So I'm going to run over there and hook up my other side of the fence, and then we'll see what kind of a charge we're getting here. Caught a boy riding by. I'll take advantage of that and make him hook it up. Oh, he didn't trust me. Did you see that? He asked me if the fence was on, and then he still touched it real quick. They've all been shocked a time or two. Nothing fun about that. The other thing I'll do before I put pigs in here is, thank you, Pete, I will tie these together like this. They come with a piece of string. Actually, I think 2 pieces of string for each post on the hog net. And you don't want to rely just on this connection to hold your fence together. It's much more secure to pinch them like that. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna clip this back on. And now, on this side, I've got my power button here. Okay, it's blinking and it's green. So let's see if we've actually got power. So I've got a fence tester here, and this will tell me, number one, do I have power? Number two, how good is the power that I do have? So even though it's turning on, I don't have good power. Okay, that's probably what I expected. Let me see when my Premier One order is coming in. Rats. That's disappointing. I was hopeful yesterday when I saw that green light that maybe things were okay. So bad news on my fencing situation for the pigs. I do not have enough charge to put them out there today, and I do not have a charger yet. My Premier One order will probably come tomorrow with my new charger, and then I'll probably need to charge for 24 hours, so maybe a couple of days we can have pigs out here. I definitely want them out here. It's a higher quality of life than being in the barn, and they can still get outside. They just don't have nice green pasture to be on, and they don't have dirt to root in like this. And I also need to get my garden planted, so they've got to get to rooting, or I'm going to have to be out here manually stirring all this up, and I don't feel like doing that. So anyway, stay tuned on that project. She's in there talking to her tomato plants. All right, maybe she's talking to Wilder, but I know she talks to those plants. I laid it clear over here. Yeah, look at that. I don't want it to get wet when Mommy waters the plants, so I'm gonna keep it dry. Hey, Wilder! Every day when we come out to work on the meat tractor, the crew is distracted by the pit. There's some fascination with seeing who can jump over the pit. Not looking right. Yesterday we made a little bit of progress on the meat chicken tractor and added this second layer of fencing up here. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Here come the boys with our makeshift chick shelter. I never wanted to be a farmer that used truck toppers for anything on the farm other than topping a truck, but here we are with no budget to work with. This is what I came up with when I looked around the boneyard. This is going to be our chick shelter. It was destined to go to the dump, but it's going to keep our chicks safe and warm and dry until they get completely feathered out. I just need to get them out of that brooder and out here on pasture.
After that. Two more.
I'm so excited for the week.
Why?
Because I'm going on a big ride.
There you go. Okay.
But we used to have a bigger board.
Gavin,
But then Pete.
Pete walked across.
you tanning or what?
Oh, I'm outside.
So we just used the little one.
Okay, we've got this end pretty much secure. I still do need to come back and tighten things up a little bit, trim this guy off around the arch here. And then I'm thinking the top is still open, but I've got some kind of, I don't know what it's called, like deer netting or something like that. It's a plastic black mesh fence, and I think I'll put that over the top. So we are out here in the permaculture orchard checking on our yellow raspberries, and you all look at this. It may be the world's tiniest leaf, but it is a leaf. These guys survived and they're doing well. All right, today is day 2 of conditioning the straw bale garden, and the instructions in the Magical Straw Bale Garden Bible say that all you do on day 2 is water them again. So pretty easy, nothing difficult about that. I think if I remember correctly, the book said that some of these bales can hold like 3 or 4 gallons of water. So it's a lot more water than you think. But then once you get them fully saturated, they only are taking maybe a couple of gallons each day to get conditioned. I think I'm going to get my soaker hose hooked up today, and that way I can just turn this on and walk away. Not that this is incredibly hard work, but my time is sort of valuable. And I can't trust a boy to do this part right quite yet. Okay, that one is watered through. Hey, Rag! So yesterday I had Gavin water these, and he was supposed to water them hard enough that all the fertilizer granules went down into the bale, and I can still see 1 or 2 bales that have some fertilizer sitting on top. So I'm gonna need to spend a little more time on those ones at a little bit higher pressure to try to get that out. I'll help you with your ponytail. All right, you hold this hose. You spray while I ponytail. You gotta water this bale. It's okay. Stand right here. Water this bale right here. I'm gonna do a low ponytail because you'll wear a helmet when Grandma picks you up.
I did do a low one.
Got a little bit of a situation going on back there. I've got one of our beef cattle, one of our cows, that has a piece of barbed wire wrapped around her leg. She's trailing that along, so we have to capture her up and get that off of her leg, of course. And these are beef cattle. We don't really touch beef cattle too much typically. They just kind of do their own thing. The only time we do get our hands on them is when they're first born or if they're having trouble in labor. But it's not like you can just walk up to these guys and pet them the way you can my dairy cows. So Scott's already out there seeing what he can do. I'm working really hard not to get worried. I'm not good in these situations. I get very nervous and worried, and Scott is the opposite. He knows what the goal is, and he just pushes through and rushes to get it done, and that makes me even crazier. So, finding my zen, I can do this. This is secretly the part about farming that I absolutely hate. I like alive and well animals, and I like dead animals. I don't like anything in between. Not that she's close to death or anything, but I don't like to see anybody in pain or suffering. All right, I'm procrastinating. We've got this. I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm confident. Here we go.
I'm mad at myself because I was able to I got close and cut it, but there's another piece that's wrapped around it.
Okay.
I had it on there, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to cut her.
Right.
And then she realized I should have just cut it.
Gotcha. Ladies, how are we? Can I trust you all to not knock over my camera?
She was eating the grain and then
Well, I'm glad it's not barbed wire. I was told it was barbed wire. I mean, not that that's acceptable to leave it on, but it's not at least going to cut her. You can see it's around her.
Grab it, hold. Do you want to try to cut?
That makes me a little nervous. If you put a bucket of grain there, will she eat that, or is she over?
Well, I put it there and she was interested in it, but as soon as I got close,
I will. We're gonna work on you
I'm
next.
gonna see if she'll go back by the grain.
Okay.
I want to go.
I mean, that bedding stall, I think, is what we need. Hon, you are my hero. Good girl. Okay. She's okay. It bit in a little bit on the front side. There you go, Mama. Do you feel 1,000 times better? There you go.
So we gotta shut this room.
Okay. Oh, she's free at last.